I mean, you said a 1 to a 10. I'm going to a 0, even though that's not what you asked me. Not surprised at all. We kind of knew this was coming. I mean, it's been out there that the running back position.
All right, what if I say 1 to 10, how big a mistake did the Giants make?
I still say 0 because it's not over yet. And what I was going to get to, Skip, there is when you think about it, they paid him about $12.5 million a year ago or so. You know, somewhere in there.
I think it was 10 something.
Was it 10
the first tag?
On the first tag.
Yeah.
$11 million on the first tag, 10.9.
Yep.
This tag is about 12.2. Now, when they look at the production that he gave them in that situation, they didn't want to use the tag again. So they said, maybe we can come to a long-term solution. Maybe a fair market deal. We can re-sign him back. And if that's the case, and he wants to be a long-term Giant, then they have an opportunity to sign him back. I don't necessarily know that his feelings are going to go so deeply involved that he'll walk on them and go to the Dallas Cowboys or go to the Houston Texans, some teams that may look to get his services that have the money to pay him. Hell of a player, great back as far as I'm concerned right now in the league, can catch the ball out of the backfield, can hit the hole with the best of them, can run on the perimeter, not afraid of contact, all of those sort of things. Somebody's going to get a steal in this situation without overpaying because the running back market is so squashed down. That's why you have so many running backs available right now. In the league as a whole, they all kind of talk. It's almost like they say to themselves, this year, we're gonna saturate the market at this position, and we're gonna make it so that everybody at this position gets less money and we don't have to pay them. And then the next year it's the tackles, then it's the tight ends, and then it becomes the receivers, and then the defensive backs. A year ago, defensive backs couldn't find money on the streets. So you start to look at that and you say to yourself, okay, what's the real big plan for the Giants? Maybe not tying up this money in Saquon Barkley because they don't think they're going to be a very good football team, and he can't help them get to where they need to go with nothing else around them. They need receivers. The quarterback, whatever that is with Daniel Jones, they overpaid him, so they out on him for the most part, is what everybody's starting to feel and say. And then all you got is Saquon Barkley. You don't have you need more to compete, and all you got is a running back. So I'm not shocked at all, to be honest with you, Skip. Not at all.
So are they
he'll find a better home for him with the right amount of money if he walks from the Giants.
So it sounds like they just conceded, right? They just waved the flag on the season, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Really?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, so let's do...
Instead of fourth place for Dallas, you guys will be in third.
Oh, okay. Well, because we're stuck with Dak, right, for one more year. Thank you for saying that. Okay, so scale of 1 to 10, how valuable is Saquon on the open market? You'd be a 10, right?
Very high on him.
Okay, you'd be a 12 or a 15,
high,
right?
The Cowboys should be knocking on his door.
Well, then,
the Cowboys and the Houston Texans should be knocking on his door.
Really? Well,
the Chargers, if they let Austin Eckler go, should be knocking on his door.
All right. So speaking of the Cowboys, I'm going to give you one of your favorite stats, one of your favorite comparison stats. So Saquon Barkley, in the 10 games he's played against the Dallas Cowboys, who are his marquee rival as a Giant, is 0-10 because he's never really hurt the Dallas Cowboys. Only twice in 10 games has he even broken 100 yards against the Dallas Cowboys. And in those 2 games, the first time he had a 68-yard run, then he averaged 2.6 yards a carry the rest of the way. And the second time in 2019, he had a 59-yard run. So what he is the classic case. I'm going to use the analogy again. He is the home run hitter who will lead the league in strikeouts and hit 220 for you because he'll get you 1 or 2 a game. He will blind you with his highlights, but he cannot consistently gash you the way once upon a time Emmitt Smith gashed you, or even Josh Jacobs, the way he runs the football, has run the football for the Las Vegas Raiders, because those are chunks. It's 6 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards. Those are ball control yards. Those are eat your clock yards. Those are move your chains yards. And you don't get that from Saquon. So he's not a hell of a back to me. He's just a luxury back. He's an icing on the cake back. Well, he'd be the last guy I'd want to be throwing $15 million at.
You do understand in the National Football League or in Major League Baseball or the NFL or even in hockey and in golf or certain courses you play, you do understand there's certain teams in certain places that you play, no matter what it is, you just have bad games sometimes and it doesn't work out.
So Dallas had his number.
But according to you with the Dallas Cowboys, if you play bad against the Cowboys, you stink. If you play good against the Cowboys stink and you should go get them.
Would you say those were his marquee games?
No, I'm not going to say that.
Well, they were.
Marquee games.
Every year they were. It's their biggest rival, even though Philly and obviously Washington are big rivals.
Skip, it doesn't matter about no rival.
0-10 against Dallas. I'm sorry.
They had bad teams.
Yeah.
They had bad teams. Their teams were bad, Skip. These were not good teams.
Well, just last year, Daniel Jones led them to a playoff win at Minnesota.
Man, they barely got in the damn playoffs. They were the 7th seed or something.
They did do that, and then they gave all their money to Daniel Jones, okay?
Well, he's a quarterback in New York City.
Yep.
They made a decision to retain a quarterback on a short-term deal that makes it look so inflated because the back end on the APY makes you think that they paid Daniel Jones a boatload. They didn't give him a boatload. They gave him starting quarterback money, below average starting quarterback money in the National Football League in New York City.
Yep. Okay.
What do you mean they gave him all the money? They gave him a 2-year deal. He'll be gone after this year.
Think so?
Oh, 100%.
Well, they might draft a quarterback. They got 6 picks.
They may draft a quarterback or they may trade for a quarterback, but he won't be their quarterback.
They might draft
in 2025.
your favorite upcoming quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. He's sitting right there. That's a possibility.
I guess if they want to draft him.
Okay.
But you can't judge Saquon Barkley based on playing against the Dallas Cowboys. I had bad games against the New Orleans Saints my entire career. I had bad games against the Rams, whether it was in St. Louis or Anaheim or wherever I played them. Bad games against those teams. I could not take advantage of them for whatever reason at all. And I know damn well I was a good player, and I couldn't take advantage of them.
Okay,
so
but were they your rivals? Not
doesn't
really.
matter, Skip. Saquon Barkley ain't sitting there talking about the Dallas Cowboys. It's a rival, so therefore I'm not gonna play my best. They got my number. I'm scared of them. That's the way you making it sound, as if the Dallas Cowboys are so superior that you should.
You know what?
Sign or take a flyer on him.
I'm not saying that because these are the same Cowboy teams that got run out of the building elsewhere. Run out of the building this year at Arizona, at Buffalo. If we go back, there were years when Cleveland would come to Dallas and run them off the field.
Skip, could you tell me outside of Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, could you tell me any other skill position players that are any good for the New York Giants? No, you couldn't, because I can't.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
They don't have them.
All right.
They're not good.
But if he's that dude, then he just takes the game over. You just figure it out. Hey, when Ezekiel Elliott was a first-year back and a second-year back and a third-year back, nobody could stop him. He led the league in rushing three straight years.
What you think Saquon Barkley did his rookie year? And then his second year and his third year, and then he got hurt. What you think he did?
He blinded you with a lot of highlights. And
he blinded you with a lot of highlights.
If you look hard at the rest of it, he's not a productive running back. Never was.
Okay. You don't have to sign him. You don't need him in Dallas. That's fine.
Okay, so what do you think is going to happen in a loaded running back free agent market?
He's the top of the class in this loading running back class. I don't know that Josh Jacobs is getting out of Oakland or Las Vegas. I don't think so. I think they'll try to re-sign him.
I hope you're right for AP's.
I think they'll re-sign him. Outside of that,
Derrick Henry.
But Derrick Henry's over 30 years old. He's a big back. It's not the same type of back, different style. Go ahead, go sign him. I've never seen the Dallas Cowboys with a big back like that. When was the last time they had a six?
Zeke was. I mean, he was 225. You know that.
I'm talking about Derrick Henry size.
No, he's 250.
When was the last time the Cowboys had one of those?
Don't know that we've ever had that.
There you go. So that may not be their style. But if you want Derrick Henry, go ahead and get him. You go right ahead and you sign him. I'm just telling you that I believe that the Cowboys should make a run at it, as well as the Houston Texans and maybe the Chargers and a couple other teams that need backs. but you don't think he can play.
Okay,
You swear he can't play.
No, I didn't say he can't play. I just say you can't pay him $15 million, and I'm sure that's what he wants.
Maybe you can't pay him $15 million. But there's a number that'll get it done. There's a number to get it done.
Well, is it below 12? Because that's what the Giants just said no to.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be. It's all about the devil is in the details. How are you structuring my contract? What are you giving me? Well, how much money am I making in the first 2.5 years of guaranteed real money at this position? Are you giving me real money, or are you trying to fluff me on the back end to make it look good? Because I don't want my agent agenting for numbers. So for me, I want it for me personally, not for him. So it's all about the devil is in the details.
Okay, and I've told you before, and you agree with the sheepthink that is the National Football League, because once the NFL world decides running backs are devalued, then everybody sort of follows suit.
But they didn't say that, but they wasn't devaluing the running back when they was trying to get Christian McCaffrey the MVP. All of a sudden, they wanted to give him the MVP.
I don't know who did, but...
Well, everybody wanted to. Everybody was, not everybody, but there are a number of people that were saying he deserves the MVP over Lamar Jackson. He deserves the MVP over Brock Purdy. He's the reason that they're carrying him. So I wouldn't say that the position is being devalued when you start talking about Christian McCaffrey. But when you talk about the running backs as a whole, yes, there are certain teams and certain personnel people that may feel that they can get a running back to do some of the same things for less money. But all you need is one.
He's the outlier. He is the only one.
All you need is one person to like you.
Okay.
You just need one team.
Okay, but most of these teams look at the draft and they say, I just know I can go down to the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, and I'll find some Pacheco who can change my life.
Maybe you will.
Yep.
And then again, maybe you won't.
Okay. But they see what Kyle has done with any number at assembly line of backs.
Because the Detroit Lions, they value Gibbs.
Oh, did they?
They went and got him in the 1st round.
That's a home run.
They went and got him.
Yes, they did.
So
I agree with
what
that.
Dan Campbell,
he is rare,
what Dan Campbell and his team wanted to do is they like running the football. And they know that that is value for what their style is.
Agreed.
Where the Arizona Cardinals under Cliff Kingsbury did not value the running back position because all they want to do is throw every down. So depending on the organization, depending on the team, Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots valued 3rd and 4th round free agent type backs.
They did.
Because they can say, hey, if I can get 1,500 yards out of the position by committee, that's what we look for.
But they valued Dante Scarnecchia as their offensive line coach.
That is true.
To teach schemes.
The Dallas Cowboys has always drafted running backs high. I don't care if it was Emmitt Smith or Ezekiel Elliott and guys in between. They've always said, oh, we'll take a running back in the top 50 picks because they're not afraid of that. That's what they like. Every team is different, Skip. Every single team is different.
Okay, but the league is looking at what Kyle has done with assembly line pre-McCaffrey and then what Mike McDaniel has done with assembly line backs and what Baltimore has done with assembly line backs. And I think generally the league is saying no to Saquon. Like at $15 million, they're not going to commit that kind of money to Saquon.
The backs in Baltimore, and I don't have it off the top of my head, nor I have it in front of me, just thinking about it. They had a number of backs that was high draft picks throughout their, when they got drafted. They took guys on the back end of their careers. They had backs at the end of their careers on the back end that they try to get things out of, whatever little bit they had left in them.
Yeah.
But the Tennessee Titans have no problem taking backs high. They like backs. They like the Chris Joneses of the world, the Derrick Henrys of the world. They don't have so every organization is different, Skip.
Yeah, but it just
y'all
seems
better
like
find a back. That's what y'all better do.
Well, it's possible we'll keep Tony Pollard, but he's out there also on the market.
Yeah, but you gave him, what was it, $11 million last year?
And I don't disagree with Michael Irvin's pound the table take. He wants Derrick Henry at a discount price as the thunder to the lightning.
If you get them both, great. If you get them both, great.
Okay.
I don't know why Derrick Henry would go to Dallas. He's trying to win a Super Bowl.
Well, we're stuck with Dak, right? Or wait, no, we got Dak. He's a top 6 quarterback. Who wouldn't want to play with the top 6?
Who? Oh, so he's not a top 6 to you?
No. Stop. Really? Top 6 at 2 and 5 in the post? I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.